Meanwhile, some university students are now calling on organized labor to consider the federal government's offer. The students spoke to our correspondent.
An honest and transparent government, the whole thing is just becoming worse as the day goes by.
If Labour embark on another strike, it's going to really affect the schedule and timeline of the university.
That would be very disastrous for students. I don't want the strike to continue.
Schools and universities might be forced to close, leaving students with no option but to stay at home, and that is going to be a very big disadvantage.
Yes, because this strike has been lingering. If we have a very active government, we should not be talking about strike this, strike that, ASU this, ASU that.
Moving on, as the second year of the Fubara administration sets in, residents, traders and motorists in Oyibo are calling for immediate attention to the poor condition of internal roads and insecurity in the area. Correspondent Emekotoka, who visited the area, reports that Poultry Farm in Old Aba Road, Timber Road 1 and 2, School Road, Graceland, Peace Estate, Chibu Street, Ijoma Street, Konkom, Iwomas Estate, Lincoln Konkom, Umoye Road, Lincoln Konkom, Oboso Road, Izwoma Road, among others. Other roads flood whenever it rains, making access difficult. Some residents, business owners express their frustration, saying the situation is driving people away, resulting in low patronage.
The road is not good. You cannot trek for leg, cannot use bag and enter, cannot use motor enter. If you use motor enter, the motor will spoil.
And the buy, enter this road and the buy, you're not going to even two way go support. The traffic chain and so forth.
The road, they are affecting us that is doing business here. It's not motorable again. And we are paying revenue for here.
People who build in have got trapped. They have no access to their home because of bad roads. So we are pleading that government should come to the aid of the people of Obigbo. Bad roads, insecurity.
In that Graceland, there was a time thieves were really coming to rob. A lot of persons were complaining of their homes being broken and then things being carried away. Even my shop is in the police case now. I bought rice and keep. They have just come and pack all the whole rice.
In the history of River State, Obigbo have not been remembered. On no road, means of survival is tough. You can see that in Obigbo, 3 pieces of pepper is 200 naira.
Residents also raised concerns about frequent power outages in Oyibo Urban, despite it hosting one of the power stations.
We are pleading that government should come to the aid of the people of Obigbo for this electricity aspect.
We don't normally have lights here.
Power failure almost every day. So you pay NEPA bill for like 1 full month, you won't see light. Maybe when it's towards the ending of the month, you now see light like 3 days. I buy charcoal almost every day and at the same time I'm paying NEPA bill.
We don't have lights. In fact, it looks as if government have abandoned Obigbo automatically. Who doesn't have lights, we can have light in daytime, like in 1 hour, 2 hours. Throughout the night, we can't see lights.
We don't have lights regularly. At times, 2 times in a week. We don't normally use light to sleep in the night. It's only afternoon time, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
I'm calling government to come and help. A special security light and a good road, so that when we are paying revenue, we know the reason that we are paying revenue.
The president of Oyibo Urban Youth Association, Victor Wachuku, also spoke on these concerns.
The issue that has to do with insecurity, internal roads is unbearable. As I speak to you, the drainage here doesn't flow. If you get to the point where we call Umondeno Junction, those waterlogged lots are even enter people's house. People are packing away from their buildings. And we're also calling on the governor of River State, Nosim Fubara, to see what he can do in Oyibo of dualizing and doing drainage and other internal roads. We have seen him doing internal roads in other local government. I think the Oyibo one will not be exception. Issue that has to do with lights. We suffer it most in Oyibo town. I can tell you that at times for 1 week, for 2 weeks, we don't have lights, and we're hazing out from here.
Regarding insecurity in Oyibo, Mr. Wachuku called on the Commissioner of Police to beef up security in the area.
Security is another challenging thing. We know that there is insecurity in the country, but local government is another thing. So we are calling on security agents to beef up. On daily basis, kidnapping activity repeats itself here. Is every day you hear they have kidnapped, they have done this one, they have. So we are calling for beef up of the security to stop those menaces, because it's embarrassing. Most prominent people here, most business have left this place to tackle town. I know good of my friends who invested and they have run away. When you call them, they say that place is not safe. And if everybody begin to live here because of insecurity, it will also affect the economy of the state.
In In the meantime, a governorship candidate in the 2023 election in River State, Lesi Borobosi, says assessing Governor Fubara's 1 year in office is a challenging task because the administration has no list of campaign promises, no clear governance priorities, no significant investment in human capital development. In a statement, Dr. Lee said the conflict with the House of Assembly and GAB chairman has hindered the effective implementation of policies and initiatives, including the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. While describing the recent political instability in the state as self-inflicted, Dr. Borobosi stated that the destruction of a section of the State House of Assembly complex and funds wasted on avoidable litigations in the administration's fight with all layers of government have led to a colossal waste of the state's treasury. Dr. Borobosi said the performance of Governor Fubara's administration in the past year will be rated average due to the numerous challenges and structural deficiencies he is yet to overcome. In another development, the President General of Socio-Political Group, the Grassroots Development Initiative GDI, Bright Amehule, has lauded the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for his performance in the FCT. In an interview, Mr. Amehule said he is not surprised that the immediate past governor of River State is ranked among the best in President Bola Tinubu's cabinet based on his performance as governor of River State.
If there is anything more than 100% that can be scored, I think he deserves it. Forget about the 8 months in office, but people are proud of him. You can hear the president not making one sentence without appreciating what Wike has done. You can hear the vice president saying that Wike is the best mentee that government has ever had in this presidential dispensation. Most of them initiated the projects and abandoned the projects. And the Nigerians in Abuja, we are crying out that no route, not like Abuja as a capital territory. Now that the Tinubu come as somebody who has people at heart and has infrastructural development thinking about Nigerians, they are also urged that the Minister of Capital Territory should ensure that those projects are put into full use, and as of today I'm telling to you, Abuja is meaning so much.
The President General of GDI, Bright Amehule, also said that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has exceeded the performance of his predecessors in Abuja.
When Wike was governor, the good works he did in the university earned him Mr. Projects from the party at the center under Buhari's government. Now that he has gone to Abuja again, you can now see that has also earned him Wike is working. What that implies is that the man is excelling, because when you are being graded above the grade you had before, it means that you're excelling and you're doing well. And you can see that all the projects that the minister has commissioned in Abuja alongside the President of the Republic of Nigeria are projects that honestly have impact and very, very useful to Nigerians who reside in Abuja and even people that visit Abuja from other parts of the world.
Also, a socio-political pressure group, the Apara Committee of Friends, has declared its support for President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The group also called on the president to pay attention to River State to ensure strict adherence to the rule of law. The group, in a communique at a media conference in Port Harcourt, attributed the political crisis in River State to betrayal, lack of political morals, and ingratitude. They also criticized Governor Siminalayi Fubara over failure to comply with the 8-point peace agreement, noting that it is an insult to the collective intelligence of the people of River State and the president. The communique was read by the chairman of the press conference committee, Alex Willie.
We condemn all the actions taken by Governor Fubara against the 7 members of the River House of Assembly, even as the disagreement between the Martin Samuel-led Assembly and 3 others of Assembly House members still persists with several litigation at the court of law. It is our expectation that the judgment of His Lordship, Honorable Justice Omotoso of the Federal High Court Abuja, which recognize and empower the speakership of the Martin Samuel-led Assembly, should have been respected by the governor, pending the determination of the matter at the Court of Appeal on the same judgment. We believe that this is the honorable path our governor ought to take in the circumstance.
The communique also accused Governor Siminalayi Fubara of promoting ethnic sentiment in his administration. The communique noted that recent pronouncement by the governor to build a secretariat for the Joy Youth Council in Port Harcourt is unacceptable and a move to establish a militia base in Port Harcourt.
The The repeated chanting of Asawana, the most government function, is a thing of worry and source of concern to us. Equally of concern to us is the Governor recent pledge to build a petition secretariat for the Youth Council in Rivers State at this material time. We see this action as a clear result to ethnicity and a deliberate move to establish a militia base in Rivers State. Along this line, we are not unaware that the pushing of ethnic agenda and beating the ethnic war drum under Sinfora's administration is the major hidden motive to displace and wrestle political power from the Igbo.
Our correspondent reports that the group also condemned the withholding of local government funds by the governor as well as the failure of the governor to conduct a local government election in Rivers State. Now still to come, federal government releases plans for Democracy Day celebration. Stay with us. Now the rest of the news. The Okinawa Community Trust has held its third annual general meeting AGM. The meeting was to update the community with its financial dealings for the past years and projections for the coming year. River State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning Peter Mede, while declaring open the AGM, lauded the trust for embarking on projects that have direct impact on the people. Dr. Mede said the smart farm will ensure food security and job creation.
The Okerewa Community Trust has shown that in this country something can work. But what we are seeing today is that some people can be able to turn money into wealth. For some years now, these trusts have been able to add so much value to the community. We have seen several projects they have done, not just road. Today we are seeing a smart farm that they'll be able to invest into. I'm seeing a model of a farm that if a state or this country will be able to do what this community has done, then we are going to say that we will no longer import food.
In his address, Chairman of the Okerewa Community Development Initiative, Benjamin Ngokaya, listed some achievements of the trust in the past years, to include the Smart Farm, Foreign Postgraduate Scholarship, Scholarship for all Okerewa undergraduates, street naming and numbering, skill acquisition training, among others.
We decided that we will do all-inclusive development that will capture both the growth of the community financially and in terms of expanding our income, as well as developing the human in the community. And that we have looked at education, that we have looked at small and medium scale enterprises. So from our community, if you're running your master's, you are entitled for 1 million naira. If you're doing your PhD within Nigeria, you are entitled to 1.5 million. And we have people that are already undergoing that. Then for those that are going abroad, we have our second student. She's almost wrapping up to go to Canada as we speak.
Some indigents of the Okerewa thanked members of the trust for embarking on projects that have brought developments to the community.
It's quite impressive, despite the daunting challenge that we are facing, litigation process, court cases and everything. We are still bouncing stronger, and the trust, what they have done, the commitment and the development they have brought to the Okerewa community is unprecedented. I will wish the next board that will take over from there should emulate what the chairman is trying to do, is trying to take Okerewa to the promised land.
The project as is going now, we are very happy. We women, youths, chiefs, and our grandchildren today, we are happy. God bring Benjamin to renew Okerewa community that are married to, and he built a church for the women in the community. Give scholarship to our children, give money to the women that you can use to trade.
Our correspondent reports that the third Okerewa AGM ended with a resolution to build a community primary school. Modification of the sharing formula of the dividends from Indorama to 45% for what they called stomach infrastructure, while 35% for project and 20% for savings, investment and human capital development. We go on a short commercial break right now. You're welcome back. Now, the federal government says this year's Democracy Day celebration will kick off with a symposium on Tuesday. A statement from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation said a grand parade would take place on Wednesday, June 12. As you may know, Nigeria's Democracy Day was moved to June 12 from May 29 in 2018 under former President Muhammadu Buhari to honor the acclaimed winner of the 1993 presidential election, the late Moshood Abiola. On the international scene, Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz has quit the emergency government in a sign of deepening divisions over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's post-conflict plans for Gaza. Speaking during a news conference in Tel Aviv on Sunday, where he announced his resignation, Mr. Gantz said the decision was made with a heavy heart. That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The new minimum wage talks is expected to end today. Oyibo residents are calling on governments to fix internal roads. And on the foreign scene, Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz has quit the emergency government. The news was edited by Chioma Ezinwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwumoyeli. Many thanks for listening.